the multiple manifestation of what in the West we call nature, such as weather, animal, plants, have long been considered as subjects with whom we had to deal, since they had their own reasons and own reasons. For almost all of human history, we have danced to ask for favors, forgiveness, or the hope of a conversation with the spiritual avatars of our non-human neighbors. Our movements mimicked the undulation of the elements, the posture of the animal. Dance was sacred and a way to get along well with our neighbors, so that they would agree to come and dance with us, so that the sun would rise again, rain would fall, animals would return, plants would grow. Hunters and pickers were at the mercy of nature, and nature was merciful. But tired of obeying the cycles, some men, at some point, decided to become conductors of what they thought were useless harmonies that they had to order to their service under the cover of higher causes such as God, the states, or economic growth, and thought they had the right to put chains on their neighbors, humans or not. Music and dance stopped being part of everyday life and were reduced to some cultural artifacts reserved to a few people, a few moments, often commercial interstices, a valve that were conceded to relieve the excessive pressure of society over people, so that they could express from time to another their wide, free and wide nature. For it is no longer a question of picking or hunting, but obeying, earning one's bread at the sweat of one's face until we die. We have freed ourselves from the constraints of nature only to lock ourselves into those of other humans or concepts. What control do we still have over those new metronomes who came to consume ad libitum the last corners of freedom in the seas, the soil, the mines? Who now decide the pace, now that spring has been silenced? Is it still only possible to choose one reason with all the standards that we have integrated through schools, bank loans, machines to be used? Can we still allow ourselves some time for interiority, slowness, in order to give ourselves time to observe, time to appreciate? And beyond the reason, how can we recover the groove? The groove we lost in the cold pace of industrialization. Dancers, farmers, musicians are still looking for the offbeats, the accentuation, the swaying, the flow, the sublime gesture made of imperceptible irregularities, which we have repeated thousands of times at the pace of a dialogue with the musicians, with the land, with our heartbeats, and which, while we are working, while we're dancing, anchors us solidly in the joy of the present moment. How can we find communion instead of the days induced by machines? How can we freely choose user-friendly techniques that will not mortgage our lives and all that surrounds us, tools that would make our daily lives viable and livable at the service and not at the detriment of beauty, dialogue, freedom, respect.